Um, I wanted to make this video today, and you know, it's a hard one. And I've been thinking about this video for weeks now, and I wasn't really sure how to go about presenting it. But I can't put it off any longer because I don't see the situation improving any, and it's really important to get this out there and just start a conversation. I think it's well past time to bring this uh, to the forefront and just get it out there. So this is completely um, unscripted and just my thoughts and opinions, whether they be right or wrong. It is my experience. So I want to take you back in time a little bit, about 10 years. I moved to this area from a different part of the state, and I had never been here before. I didn't know anything about this location. I just came here to help people in my family and just kind of landed here, basically. And that being said, I didn't have a pocket full of cash when I came here. So we took what we could find and what we could afford. And we were lucky to have found this great deal on a decent mobile home in pretty good condition, in a park that on first drive through looked fairly decent. I mean, sure, some of the homes here were a little older, but they seemed decently cared for. And so we were very proud of the fact that we were given the opportunity to purchase this mobile home for a very reasonable amount. And so we did. We didn't want to, have to pay rent or invest in a mortgage because we weren't sure how long we were going to live here. So, that being said, it wasn't very long, and we met our neighbors, of course, because that's what you do when you move into a new place. And we started getting familiar with the neighborhood and, the people here. And it came to our attention that there were a lot of stray, unowned cats. But it really didn't it really didn't seem like this huge problem. There were different people in the neighborhood that would feed them and, take them off and get them fixed and bring them back. And they were doing their best, doing their best in what they could afford. Because let's face it, no one in this location is rich. We're here because it's affordable, So they did the best they could. And I met the elderly neighbor who she was feeding and caring for a large group of these cats out of the kindness of her heart. And she's a very church going person. She's like I said, she's older. She was doing what she felt was right. And, in my mind, fantastic. People should do caring things, do acts of kindness, do what is morally right. My support was behind her. That's fine. That's what she wanted to do. Until the day came when she couldn't. She fell ill with cancer. And she had, well, let's just say 3 rounds of cancer. And on the third go, chances of survival were slender. So she asked me if I could, well, she didn't ask me, but her husband asked me if I could care for the cats in her absence. Well, he said he would help, and he was still putting food out and water and that. So I thought, okay, I can do that. It's, how hard can it be, right? And that's how this journey began. Did I know anything about this town? Did I know anything about the ordinances, the laws of the state? Did I think about those things when my elderly neighbor comes and says my wife may pass away, and the thing that gives her joy is in the balance and there is no one to step up? Of course I did not think of those things. Who would in their right mind say, I'll get back to you on that, I have to check legislation and ordinances and see if that's okay? No one in their right mind would consider that. So I agreed. Fast forward to today. I never thought once how controversial the subject of doing right would be or become. I'm blown away at how huge a conundrum it led to. You see, back when my neighbor fell ill with cancer for the third time, and I said, okay, to helping, someone said, oh, look, that cat there is a problem, and it keeps mating all these other cats. Notice I said mating, not breeding, mating. Can you step up and do something? Do you have any money? Can you get it fixed? Okay, sure. I mean, my husband had a okay job, and we were in an okay position. Fine. I took the cat and I got it fixed. Down the line, someone says to me, hey, here's these 3 baby kittens, and the mama has disappeared and no one knows where it is. Can you help them? They're gonna die if you don't help them. Well, granted, this person had some authority here. And we were friends. And I said, okay, sure. So I did that. And increment by increment, it became, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do a little more? Can you do a little more? And a little more. And then it became, instead of, can you do a little more, to, you better do more. I did more. I did the most. I did everything I could think of. I started a YouTube channel in hopes of finding people across the world, not just in this nation, across the world, that could maybe help me to do more, because more and more was expected. And then the harassment started because someone didn't like me. Whatever. And was I supported then? Nope. In fact, it led to even more hardship. Now, not only am I expected to do more, but I'm also threatened for doing more. And not just by a random person. No, that random person that didn't like me also drew in authorities who threatened me to stop me from doing more. But they were doing nothing. And yet I was expected to know that I wasn't supposed to be doing anything either. I'm just a random person trying to help. No idea. Okay. It got so bad that the person that was harassing me and was allowed and yet even encouraged to harass me dragged my family into it. inevitably I had to end my YouTube channel with over 4,000 people. No, I'm sorry, that's a misnumber. 3,800 people watching my channel had no idea what happened. I had to tell them, I'm sorry, I have to close the channel. Thank you for the support you've given me thus far. I have to stop. And then I was basically forced into hiding because not only was I being harassed, my family was being harassed as well. This was encouraged, not discouraged, encouraged by persons in authority in this town. And it was put back on me. Like, let's blame the victim here. Yep, that's how it went. And ordinances and laws were used as a weapon. And I was shushed and told basically to go into hiding. Is that right? Should it be that way? Where are the people? Where are the people who in the beginning said, could you do more? Can you help? Where are those people that shouted at me, you should do more? And I did. Where are those people who said, we'll support you if you can do more? We'll welcome you into our community. Where are those people? Where is that support? Where is my community? I need to know. I have done more. I have done the most I could possibly do. I have complied with every ask. I have reduced the population. I have come up with money to vet and alter so many animals out here. I have done everything from adopting out cats to rescuing other people's cats in their situations. I have done as much as I possibly can. And yet, where are they? I am still to this day in fear. I cannot grow my nonprofit, which was part of doing the most. Do you think I just wanted to do that? I thought it would be so fun. It's hard. It's not so fun. Where is the support? Where is the community? I am struggling to make ends meet. And the community that should be there, that I thought would be there, nowhere to be seen. I cannot find a vet willing to provide low-cost spay and neuter and vaccinations. We no longer have a low-cost vaccination clinic in this area. Don't know what happened to that. And if I want to get cats TNR'd, I have to wait weeks. Where is the support? I can only go one place, and that is our Humane Society. And, I know they are doing their utmost. And I fully support them. Not only as an organization, but as people. Because I recognize that behind the organization is a group of people. And I understand the burnout and the difficulty of doing this work. But I need more than that. I need a place to call and say, hey, look, I have a cat that needs an emergency spay or neuter, blah, 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 and I can get in within a week. I can get in within a few days with an animal that is sick or injured. And the cost be affordable. Because I can't pay all this. This is, how did all this come down on my head just, within the last year? How did all this, expense and responsibility become mine and mine alone? Where is the support? I know times are hard, but I'll be go to hell if I don't see you folks in the damn coffee lines. I'll be go to hell if I don't see you folks just packing the parking lots of the restaurants in town and lining up the cars at the fast food. You can all do that, but you can't do this. Yes, I'm angry and I'm hurt and confused. This is why we don't have enough resources here, because no one takes this seriously. But it's taken seriously when someone fails. Then the noses go up. Oh, so-and-so has failed. I have not yet failed, but I could see how it could happen. Probably within a short amount of time if I don't find some support, some help. Folks, please. Find it within yourselves. People should be going to the city government meetings. People should be trying to get the laws to agree between the state, the county, and the local level. Because right now they're completely disjointed. There is so much gray area, it's ridiculous. And that gray area is used and held over people's heads to create fear and confusion, and nothing gets done. It's wrong, and it needs to be fixed. I need people in this area of Northeast Arkansas, particularly the Jonesboro, Arkansas area, to pull your heads out from the hole in the ground where you hide. Put your coffee down. Maybe help out a little bit. Come on now. This is a strong community and a caring community. I have seen you out protesting things that you feel are wrong. I know we have it in us. We have to make a change. And it can't be all on me. It can't be all on the Humane Society. It can't be all on Biscuit's legacy or, others who have basically flown under the radar very carefully to avoid trouble, who only want to help, who are only trying to do their most to save lives, to make the community a better place. And they feel this pressure and fear because it seems like no one has time, no one has money, no one has, and yet fill the movie theaters and the restaurants, and it makes no sense. If you want this, you need to speak up. You need to put in the effort, the time, foster, do what you can. Don't donate, for God's sake. Little help here. TNR season is picking up. And I know if I pick up the phone right now and call the Humane Society, appointments will be weeks and weeks out. Why? Because we don't have the resources here. Why do we not have the resources? People, get it together. Do you want to keep seeing this problem? It's not just cats. Oh, no, no. But that's where my world is. And it needs to change. We've got to do more. So if you want this, if you want things to get better, if you want to stop seeing sick cats, cats mating, corpses in the street, you know, cats going under houses and dying, cats going under houses and giving birth, uh, disease spreading to our household pets. If you want that to change, you have to work with it. You have to work with me. You have to work with the government. You have to work with local city officials. You have to reach out and do something in some way, no matter how small. Do something. And I really hope this gets to the right ears. Have a good day.